You turn on the news and what do you hear? Inflation, broken supply chains. It's all about global fragility, right? Well, today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to talk about a different story, a revolution that's happening quietly, not in some high-rise boardroom, but literally right down your street.
For so long, we thought technology's main job was to shrink the globe, right? To kill the distance between continents. But what if that was just Act 1? What if the next big thing technology does is actually bring us closer to the people next door, and in doing so, completely remake our economy from the ground up?
Yeah, we're all kind of conditioned to look at the big flashing numbers, aren't we? The S&P 500, global trade stats. But by staring at that massive scoreboard, we might be missing the real game, the one happening at the micro level. It's almost like a quiet, digital walkout from a system that just, well, it feels pretty broken.
Okay, so before we can really get into where we're headed, we've got to understand what we're leaving behind. Let's talk about the old model and why it feels so, well, broke.
Think about the deal we were sold for like the last 40 years. The promise was pretty straightforward. Hey, give up a little local control and we'll give you super cheap stuff from all over the world, delivered with amazing efficiency. Sounded good, right? But we've all seen how that played out. That whole just-in-time system, turns out it's super fragile. So now the new reality isn't efficiency, it's just uncertainty and a whole lot of anxiety. And you know, this goes way deeper than just economics. It's psychological. It's about a broken promise. That feeling that the system you were told you could rely on for stability just isn't reliable anymore. That is the real engine driving the quiet revolution we're talking about.
So, with that old contract totally shredded, people aren't just sitting around waiting for the folks at the top to fix things. Nope. Instead, something really interesting is happening. A quiet revolution where communities are just building something new for themselves, from the ground up.
And that brings us to the core idea here, the hyper-localized economy. Now, let's be clear, this is not about going back in time or anything like that. It's the exact opposite. It's about taking the coolest, most advanced tools we have, the internet, blockchain, 3D printing, you name it, and pointing them inward, using them to solve problems right here at home.
I love this phrase because it just nails it. The fusion of Silicon Valley tech with Main Street pragmatism. See, it's not tech for tech's sake. It's about using these incredibly powerful tools to solve real, everyday problems for the people you know. It's like high tech meets high touch.
Okay, theory is great, but what does this actually look like? How does it work in the real world? Let's dive into some actual examples of this micro-global economy starting to take shape.
So let's look at 3 quick glimpses of what this future looks like. First up, becoming energy sovereign. Instead of being totally dependent on some giant utility company, imagine neighbors using blockchain microgrids to buy and sell their extra solar power directly to each other. No middleman. Second, localized supply chains. Why are we waiting weeks for a tiny plastic part to ship from halfway across the world? Just download the file and 3D print it in your garage. Problem solved. And third, and this is a big one, the trust economy. This is where we start moving away from these cold, impersonal credit scores and back toward local lending, where your actual reputation in your community is what matters most. It's your real capital.
This quote really sums it up perfectly. The first big wave of tech, globalization, it killed distance. Now, this new micro-global wave, it's all about killing the middleman. It's about getting rid of all those layers, the big utilities, the shipping giants, the massive banks that have wedged themselves between us and the things we actually need. You know, this whole thing isn't just about new gadgets and apps. It signals a much, much deeper change in how we think. It's a fundamental shift in our definition of wealth itself. We're moving from just net worth to network worth.
Think about how modern finance often feels. It's like a hemorrhage, right? When you spend $1, it just leaves. It gets sucked out of your town, flies off to some corporate HQ on the other side of the country or the world, and you never see it again. It creates this constant feeling of being drained.
So the alternative is a total flip in philosophy. The old goal, that was all about accumulation, just to hoard as much as you can for your own private net worth, even if it means siphoning it away from your community. But the new goal is all about circulation. It's like building a healthy circulatory system for your local economy. When money stays and circulates locally, you can literally see the impact. It creates this incredible sense of, hey, we're building this together.
Now, when you start talking about systems that keep value local, well, that doesn't go unnoticed by the traditional financial world. It represents a quiet but very real threat, and it's leading to what you could call an unseen currency war.
And here's why it's happening under the radar. Think about it. When two neighbors trade solar credits, or a graphic designer trades a logo for a box of veggies from a local farmer, do any US dollars change hands? Nope. And because of that, this activity is completely invisible to Wall Street, it doesn't show up in the GDP, and the IRS has no idea it's even happening. To the big official systems, it's like it doesn't exist. And that brings us to a really powerful number, 20%. The idea here is that if a community can figure out how to meet just 20% of its essential needs, food, energy, whatever, locally, without using any national currency, that fundamentally changes the game. It makes that community way more resilient to big shocks like national inflation or supply chain breakdowns.
So this really gets to the core of this unseen war. On one side, you've got fiat currency, the dollar, the euro, which has value simply because a government says it does. But on the other side, you have what we can call functional currency. And this stuff is backed by something real, something tangible and local. It's backed by a kilowatt hour of actual energy, or a fresh loaf of bread, or an hour of skilled labor.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you and me? How do we actually plug into this new way of thinking? Well, it all starts with completely rethinking what we mean by the word portfolio.
We're leaving a world that tried to be a monolith, one single, top-down, globalized system for everything. That's not what's next. The future is a mosaic. It's made up of thousands of unique, vibrant, self-reliant local economies. They're all connected, for sure, but they're not fragilely dependent on each other.
So in this new world, your most valuable assets probably aren't going to be stocks and bonds. Your new portfolio, your full-stack resilience portfolio, looks a little different. It's about, do you have secure access to local energy, local food? Do you have digital skills that are valuable to your neighbors? And maybe the most important one of all, how much community trust have you built? That is the new wealth.
So we'll leave you with this final question, because it really gets to the heart of this whole shift in perspective. Are you still staring at the stock ticker, mesmerized by all the abstract numbers of a system that feels like it's sputtering out? Or have you started looking at the map of your own neighborhood, your own town, and started seeing the real, tangible assets and relationships that are going to build a much more resilient future? It's definitely something to think about.